Hi guys, we're going to review surface area of 3D figures today, looking at some diagrams. A couple things to know is you can have a 3D figure all put together, or it might be unfolded and you see a net. Here's another example. Sometimes the bottom of the piece is the base. These four rectangles that go together are your lateral pieces, and then the two that are sticking out on the sides, those are your bases. Here's a picture of a triangular prism, the way it looks all together as a 3D figure, and then when you unfold it, you still get your rectangular sides that are all connected, and then the two pieces that are sticking out are your bases. The first example we're going to look at, this is a triangular prism. So the question asks us to find the lateral surface area of the triangular prism. The most important thing to know is, are you doing the whole shape or just the rectangular sides? So this one says lateral surface area, which means only the rectangular sides. So there's going to be three of them. Only the three rectangles. So I'm just going to draw those three pieces out separately. Oh, that is a bad rectangle. A little bit better. Okay, there's my three pieces. One rectangle is going to be this bottom piece, which is 17 and 10. I'm going to put those two dimensions down. Then the other two pieces are going to be 13, and then it also matches up with 17, goes here as well. So there are two pieces that are that size. There's this front one that I'm seeing right now, and then the one that's on the back of it, back here, this one's also the same size. This is 13, and this is 13. It's going to be 13 because they didn't give me another number. So that's why I'm keeping them the same. Not all triangles do that, but some do. Isosceles triangles. Two that make 13 by 17. Now, when you multiply those out, 10 times 17 is 170, plus 13 times 17 is 221, plus another one of the same size. And when you add those all together, your final answer would be 612. And we're doing area. The units were inches, and area always has squared as its label. So I would say the lateral surface area is 612 square inches. Okay, number 2, this one says find the total surface area of the cube. So it only needs to give us one dimension, and the reason is because a cube is everything the same size. Total surface area, and it's a cube. That means I have all the pieces, and that's 6 of them. And because it's a cube, it means they're all squares. So they really only need to tell me one number. I don't want to draw all 6 of these squares because that would take up a lot of space and I don't really need them. The dimension, a square, whatever one side is, all the other ones are. So I'm just going to write it twice. And then I'm going to put times 6 out here because I know I have 6 of them. 7.5 times 7.5 equals 56.25. And then we have 6 of those pieces. So when I times that by 6, my final answer would be 337.5. And the units were feet. And remember, when you do area, your label is squared. So the total surface area of this cube is 337.5 square feet. The third example says find the lateral surface area of the rectangular prism. The thing to watch out for is that this says we're doing lateral surface area. Since it's a rectangular prism, everything is a rectangle. But if it's lateral, I'm only going to do the sides. And on a rectangular prism, it would have 4 rectangle sides. I don't know much about this box, so for me, it might be hard to determine which piece they're really wanting to be the base. So I'm going to say these two are the bases, and I'm not going to do the bases because it says lateral. It's a little hard to tell sometimes when you have rectangular prisms which ones are the bases or not. So we're going to pretend like the 2 that I just X'd out are the bases. So I'm not going to do those 2, but I am going to do the other 4 that would wrap around the sides like this. I'm going to pretend like that shape is turned over sideways. So I'm going to draw the 4 rectangles that I need to find the area of. 2 of them will be the same size, and then the other 2 will also be the same size because rectangles have length and width, so opposite sides are congruent. Now I'm going to need the dimensions. So one of the rectangles, this piece, okay, is 13.9, and then the number going the other way is 6. So I'm going to trace these 2. The top and the bottom would be the same size. So I'm going to write this down twice. 13.9 times 6. 13.9 times 6. Now the other rectangle that I need to find would be this one on the front. And it's going this direction. So I would use the numbers 6.7. And then this one also matches up with 13.9. So I need to write those numbers down. Still 13.9 again, but this time the side number is 6.7. 13.9 and 6.7. The first 2 rectangles, when you multiply 13.9 times 6, is 83.4. Then I need to write that down again because remember I had 2 of the same size rectangles. Then the other 2 rectangles that I have were 13.9 times 6.7. When you multiply those together, you get 93.13. And remember there's 2, so write it down twice. When you add all this together, your final answer is going to be 353.06. The units were meters. And again, remember, anytime you do area, you need that squared as your final answer. Just remember to put that exponent to say you have 353.06 square meters of lateral surface area. I'm going to help you guys set up this last one. This says find the total surface area of the right triangular prism. Again, the most important thing to know is, are you doing total or are you doing lateral? If you're doing total, that means all the pieces. All the pieces of the shape. This one, since it's a triangular prism, you're going to have 2 triangles and you're going to have 3 rectangles. So I'm going to draw those pieces out for you. 2 right triangles, and then we have 3 rectangles. When you look at your triangle, here are the numbers you need for the triangle. 7 is the height and 5 is the base. I'm going to put those in. 7 and 5, 7 and 5. Then when you go to look at your rectangles, one of them you can see right here for the bottom of where it's sitting. The 10 is going to carry itself down. So my rectangle for this piece is 5 by 10. Then the next rectangle, I could do the one on the back side. The second rectangle that I'm going to do is this one that's kind of on the left, and it would be 7 for this side, 10 for this side. And the dimensions I'm going to put over here are 7 and 10. And then the piece that we haven't done yet, it's a little bit hard, but it's this one that's slanted, that's leaning, and its dimensions are 8.6. and 10. I'm going to put that down for our last one. 8.6 and 10. Do remember, guys, when you do your triangle, it's base times height divided by 2, or half BH. Okay, when you're doing those. Base times height divided by 2, or half BH. And then you have your 3 rectangles. And then put all 5 pieces together to say your final overall total surface area answer.